Okay, we're back. We're back. Technical difficulties, but I'll wait for some people to come in so that I can see if you guys can hear me well. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. Um, Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good, good. Hi, baby. Peace and light. Peace and light. All right, you guys. So, I don't do the whole waiting thing. So, I just wanted to give you guys some updates. I trust that you all have been so very well. I know I have not been posting consistently, but I did explain why in my last video regarding, on my solar return. So, still doing my work, but I have journeyed on. I am in the mountains, and I know that's surprising because me and the cold, we do not mesh. Um, so it's been quite an adjustment for me. And yeah, so, but I wanted to share some things. And that is, I got the police called on me when we were in the Yucatan for absolutely no reason, and so let me just tell the story, right? So I African Starlight Connection, peace and light. How are you? I hope you've been well. So I was in this B&B, right? So I did a long like extension. And so the host came to me and was like, I can give you, a discount, like if you go off the app or whatever, and just pay me directly. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I know like they're trying to avoid, taxes and stuff like on their end, like that's their deal. That's something that they have to deal with. But, I was game for, having the discount or whatever. So normally, you guys, I dot my I's, I cross my T's. I normally get everything in writing. I have had so much on my plate. It's been so full, really. And I'm really trying to like discard some things, right? But everything on my plate has to be like digested. Like I can't even discard anything. So he came to me like the first week that I was supposed to pay him directly. He came, to the place and to get the payment and to give me a receipt. And so then he's like, before he left, he's like, oh, I wanted to tell you, I ask you if you can please like stay within this particular electricity usage because, otherwise I ask that you pay, extra. And so I told him, I was like, listen, I am not going to be going out to anybody's meter and checking my usage. I was like, I use the utilities like respectfully always anyway. Like if I'm not using something, I unplug it if it's able to be unplugged. Of course, I can't do that with a refrigerator and things of that nature. But like if it's, any other type of appliance that is not in use, then it's turned off, it's unplugged. I've always been like that, right? So especially living abroad, that's just customary. Um, And so I was like, I'm not going to be going out checking anybody's meter. I'm too busy. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to have that on my mind. I was like, so you needed to have included that in the payment. And so he's like, okay, no problem. No. Can you at least just set aside like 300 pesos so that, that's it. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to stress you. So I was like, okay, fine. I will set aside, 300 pesos. And let me tell you, you guys, he was expecting in the heat, like if you've never been to the Yucatan, then you don't know. But the heat is on in the Yucatan. It's blazing hot. Okay. And especially like in the hotter months, right? So he was wanting, as I did the conversion, to stay within like 35 USD per month. Now they're billed bi-monthly here. Okay. So that's utterly ridiculous. In the Yucatan heat, when you have to turn on the AC, just utterly ridiculous. But either ways, he's like, just 300. That's all I'm asking. No problem. Okay. So at this point, I'm fast forwarding. We'd been doing the arrangement. If there was, any overage that was over the 35, I would give him the 300. He's always got his payments. No problem. So it was time for us to like journey on, and hence now we're in the mountains, but it was time for us to journey on. And so I let him know that. And immediately, like, the energy shifted, and I can feel everything. Like, it shifted when I sent him that message. And so then when I told him, hey, we're going to be departing, in this weekend. And so I just wanted to let you know, and I wanted to just thank you so much. So then he replies back, oh, you still have 3 days that you need to pay for then from the since you're leaving, and that's going to be an extra 3-day extension. So I'm like, I'm very much aware that there will be an extra 3 days that needs to be paid. Like, I'm aware of that, and you're going to like get your money. So immediately I sent him the money, right, for the 3 days. And so I'm like, wow, like after giving him, like, staying here all this time and putting all this money like in his pocket, like, and being so respectful, and this is like how he replies back to me, like letting me know, oh, I have 3 days like that I have to pay him, right? Which confirms like the energy shift that I was like feeling. So, anyway, so that was that. I'm packing up my things, or what have you. Now at this point, it's the next morning, and it's one day prior to our departure. So he's like blowing up my WhatsApp, blowing it up with like this message talking about, oh, the electric bill is so high. It's so high. I need you to pay like 2,500 pesos, please. I'm like, this man must be out of his mind. Now, we have not done anything differently. Nothing. We've like the same usage. We've always been like really consistent. So I'm like, this is really weird and bizarre. I don't know like what kind of game he's playing. Like, I'm not paying him 2,500 pesos, and I know we have not used that much electricity. So he's just sending me a number, like telling me like, you need to pay 2,500. Now, normally I get the actual bill. So I'm like, can you send me the actual bill so that I can see the usage for myself? You're just sending me this random number. And so he's like, oh, okay. I'll send the bill. And I said, furthermore, our agreement was I would pay just a 300 peso difference. So I just want to remind you of that. So he sends the bill, and I don't see any really difference in the usage. I think he was trying to say, oh, you use 300 more kilowatts or what have you. And then he's like, well, what it is in the Yucatan, or no, he said in Mexico, it's doubles in the winter months. They double the price, even if the usage is the same or similar, like they double the price. And I'm like, well, that's really not my issue. That's not something that we discussed. That was not our agreement. And I would like for us to stick to the agreement. Now, this is where I messed up not getting it in writing, because I normally get everything in writing. But like I said, I had so much on my plate. And I was just like, okay, yes, that's fine. And I have proof of me, giving him like just the 300 pesos. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay that, because that's not what we discussed. That's not our agreement. Like, if that was our agreement, then I would abide by that. And I was like, you didn't tell me anything about anything doubling. And I specified like that I do not want to be concerned about any type of electricity. I'm not going out to check anybody's meter. I'm not going to do that. You need to include everything in the price that we agreed upon. So this man's like, oh, we're going to see what the authorities have to say about that. Tell that to the authorities. You guys, I was shocked, because there had been nothing but like a respectful rapport between us. Always. We minded our business. We went out, came in. We were just very respectful. And like I said, I had given him like 5 months of payments. Like, that should be appreciated. If 5 months of money in your pocket, in that time, he was able to get himself a brand new car, and so I'm just like, wow, that's how like you're coming at me. Like, that's how you thank me for doing, like, you're calling the authorities. And so, I got pissed, because you know what? I'm so sick of, and this is what I said in my reply. I was like, I am so sick of people thinking that they can call the police on melanated people for no reason at all, right? Trying to intimidate them. And it's abuse. It's abusive. So if you're here, let me know that you're here. Hit the like button, put number 9s in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I see that there's 6 people here. So I was like, I'm so sick of people doing this. Like, and I was like, and you can call the authorities and whoever else like you want. You can do that. And so at this point, the ancestors were just like, I felt this surge of energy, like literally within me. And I was trained to go at this point. I'm normally, mellow, calm, cool, and collected, but I was just not having it. I was so sick of it, like just weaponizing the police for absolutely no reason. So as I was packing my things, because like I said, we had one more day. But at this point, because he had like disrespected me so much, I'm like, I am not even going to stay here. Like, we will just go ahead and leave today. I don't even need the extra day. And I had already paid him through our whole entire stay. So we're packing our things. I'm like, we'll just go, son, because we don't, I'm just not going to deal with this. So my son, and probably like 10 minutes later, he's like, Mom, the police are outside. Like, he literally did call the police. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? So I got my shoes and stuff on and I went outside, and the officer didn't, speak English. And I, don't speak Spanish fluently, but I was able to gather some things here and there. And he's like, un momento, por favor. He's like, senora, he's telling me that he's going to call another officer who speaks English to explain to me. And he kept saying, no hay problema, okay? Okay, está bien. So he's telling me everything is okay. There's no problem. So we're literally in the blazing sun, like for over an hour, sitting there waiting for an English speaking officer like to come. So in that time, him and his partners over there, and my son and I are on the other side. And I am just I mean, I am just in disbelief because I'm like, are we really here for absolutely no reason at all? And like, I kept reiterating that this is not the agreement. Like, this is not the agreement. And so the officer finally comes who speaks English, and he's like, now, please tell me your side, like what's going on. And I told him, I said, first of all, I would like to say that I am extremely upset and disheartened at having the police called for absolutely no reason at all. I said no threats were made. I said no one was injured or harmed. I've been nothing but respectful. And I put 5 months of payments in this man's pocket. And this is how he's thanking me. Now I have all of my neighbors that I have lived, amongst for these past months looking at me, which is quite embarrassing. So I want that, number one. I'm tired of the police being weaponized against melanated people throughout this entire globe. I am sick of it. So the officer is like, no, look. He's telling me, look, your skin is like my skin. I said, no, it's not the same. It isn't. It is not the same. And so I was like, and I want to say that first and foremost. And I said, the police has been called for like no reason. He's like, oh, he called police on you? I said, yes. He's like, oh, because normally B&B people, if there's something they don't understand, like they will call the police, for their guests. I was like, no, I did not call anybody. It's him calling the police on me. For what? He's like, oh. So I tell him like what's happened. I show him all the payments. I have all the receipts. I told him about the agreement with the 300 pesos and all of that. And I said, so I don't understand now why he's telling me that I should pay him like 2,500 pesos. That is not our agreement. And we have not abused any type of electricity. And so he's like, he told me, you don't pay nothing. You don't have to pay anything. He said you can stay until tomorrow. They are not going to bother you. That everything is okay. And I make sure that they won't bother you. And he asked me to come back tomorrow when you exit, just to make sure everything is peaceful. And I told him, no, we're not going to come back. And that is not our job. And so he's like, so everything is okay. You guys, I am even more livid because I'm like, so as you can see, he weaponized your services for absolutely no reason at all. None. Just to backtrack and now try to set the record straight or, because he knows he's wrong. And so he's like, yes. And there's no problem. I say, I'm not staying here. I'm leaving. My son and I are leaving. He's like, oh, no. I said, yeah, I don't want to stay here. Who wants to stay here? Like, and so he's like, I'm sorry. Lo siento. And so I was like, no, it's not your problem. It's his problem. And I'm sick of it. And, and I want to backtrack because when the first officer who did not speak English, hi, TNT with Mike and Jazz. I am so glad you guys are here. Can you please send me your PayPal and stuff information? I want to make sure that I have up-to-date information. Please. Okay? Because I need to send you something. Hey, beautiful sis. So happy to see you. This is Jazz. Hate that happened to you. I'm at work, so I will be listening. Okay. So lovely to see you. My regards to Mike. So anyway, so that's what happened, right? So I was so livid. And I told him, I was like, I was backtracking to the first officer. So the first officer who was like, there's no problem. Everything is fine. Just wait until this officer comes, right? So then while we were waiting that whole hour, he was talking to us, asking us like, where are you from? Oh, you're Americana. And what do you do? How long have you been here? And he kept saying, everything's okay. Because that told me like he understood that it was a bunch of bullshit. Okay. So and then the guy was telling him, the host was telling him, oh, she sent me something saying that I am, being racist. And what I sent him was what I said. I am sick of people thinking that they can call the police, on melanated people for no reason, which is racist behavior. He replies back, I am not white, so I'm not racist. Now, as light as he is, okay, whatever. Yeah, you're right. You're not white, but you're most certainly not like melanated indigenous. You're not. And my point wasn't that. You do not have to identify as quote unquote white, or Caucasian to act racist. Okay. You don't. You don't. And so his behavior was racist, and people don't understand that the whole world has been poisoned with these racist thought forms, right? They've been poisoned with these thought forms, these degenerative thought forms. That's the word I was looking for. They've been poisoned with them. And so subconsciously, they act out racist behavior. They do, because that's just the poison that's been spread, the poisonous thought form that has been spread throughout the entire world. So although he may not identify as being Caucasian, it most certainly does not mean that he cannot behave in a racist way. And calling the police on melanated people for no reason is proof that you have been bitten by this degenerative racist thought form, because it's evident in your behavior. This is what you have been taught to do. I can call the police, as a lighter person, someone who's pale, whatever you want to call yourself, right? I can call the police on someone who is dark. I can call the police on them, and the police is going to side with me. I'm going to get my way. We see this all happening like often. It's been happening. So that's what I was trying to get him to understand. So when he was showing that to the officer was like, no, not in Mexico, not in Mexico. So I'm just like, see in Mexico, that is racism here, and we have experienced it. So when people ask, like, is there racism in Mexico? The answer is hell yes, it is. It's everywhere. It's all around the world. There isn't a place where it does not exist. That's the answer. Okay. It's in more places than others. But is it something like that we've had to deal with at a high magnitude? No, it isn't something that we have had to deal with at a high magnitude throughout our travels. But have we experienced it? Absolutely. My son has been followed around in the store, and I've had to tell people, back off, let us do our shopping in peace. We don't need you following us around the store. We've had that happen. We've had many things happen, throughout our travels. But in Mexico specifically, yes, we've had a few occasions where, there's been racism. Yes, yes, we have. And so I was letting him know that, because I am not going to I am not going to jump in the ocean of like disillusion. I'm not the ocean of being delusional. Like, you thinking that, like, if I just like continue to deny, then somehow it's going to magically like become true. No, it exists. We need to acknowledge it and freaking deal with that. Period. Because ignoring it is going to get us nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So either ways, so the officer, like I said, he kept apologizing, like, lo siento, no, we want you can stay, I'm going to make sure you're okay. I'm like, no, I'm leaving. Like, I thank you so much. I'm like, muchas gracias, thank you, but I'm like, I am leaving, right? So that was that. Like, it had my blood boiling, you guys. Like, I was literally like, if I could like articulate what was going on inside of me, it's quite like that same experience that I had when I was in Alkebulan in Tanzania, and the officer, was, trying to be intimidating because they wanted my phone because they thought that I had some sort of recording on there of their, of their corruption, and so the intimidation, like I'm gonna call the police on you. It just riled me up so much because it's happening too often where people think that they can just treat us any kind of way, weaponize the police like whenever like they feel like it, and we're supposed to just sit there and take it and be okay with it. Well, hell no, that's just not going to happen. But I was just so very grateful that the officers understood like what was going on, because they too were like shaking their head. Like the first officer, when the host was talking to him, he was like, no, because he was really like on our side. Like both of them were like, they knew that it was just ludicrous and ridiculous. And then for them to then just say, oh yeah, she doesn't have to pay anything. She's okay. And like I told him, I was like, let heaven and earth know, let it be known in the heavens and the earth that on this day you threatened me for absolutely no reason at all. I want it to be known. And so he was like really bothered by that. And I meant that. This is the way that we have to start speaking in our power. We have to start speaking in our power. And we have to make sure that we always stand up for ourselves. At every turn, you need to address racism. At every turn. Never ignore it. Never allow it to go quietly into the night. You need to speak it into the ethers. Anyone, who's behaving in such a way. It's a new day. So tired of it. But just so shocked. Literally did nothing. But put money in your pocket. And like, this is the way like that you thank me. And then he had the nerve, I would say maybe 3 months in, to come and say, oh, mi familia. Oh, if this is the way that like, and I told my son that day, I was like, it's bullshit. He's just saying that because like we're giving him money. It's not real, because I can read energy very well. And so as you can see, it wasn't real, because like if this is the way like that you treat your family, then I most certainly do not want to be a part of your family at all. But I wanted to share that. And I know oftentimes people say, ask, is there racism there? I really think that that's like a ridiculous question to ask. There's racism everywhere. Okay. And you can even have people who are brown behave in this manner. Now, it's normally applicable to those who have the power to disenfranchise you from, whether it be a particular ride or, something that you are entitled to. And so there's inequity there, because they have the power to keep you away from, resources and things of that nature. And so, yeah, but people who don't necessarily identify as being Caucasian can absolutely behave in a racist manner. They can, and so like I said, weaponizing the police for no reason against melanated people, that is that is a racist act. It is. So, let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, Dada. Oh, hi, Tony Africa. Mambo VP. Hope all is well. Thank you. Same for you. Thank you. BB, speaking of racist behavior, I have an excellent video to send to you. Okay. So either ways, our time, there, has passed, and this happened a while ago, you guys. I'm just updating you all. Like, I haven't updated you all in a while on some of the things like that we experienced while we were there in Mexico, and in the Yucatan. But we're in the mountains, and it's cold. So, and I don't do well like in the cold, but I love the mountains like so very much. I am making headway, and with my land, and I just cannot wait to share things with you all. Again, I will be discretionary about like what I share. I will. This is not always a safe space at all. And so I will be discretionary, but there are some beautiful things to come. I do need to update you guys still about my book. Um, I still have a few things to do. I have to get the cover done, and I still have to get the copyright back. And that's the only thing that's stopping me from releasing the title is the copyright. I wish I could release it, but I have to protect myself. I have to protect my work. I have to protect my intellectual property. But as soon as I get that copyright completed, I am going to release the title. And so, yeah, I have to get the cover done. And I have to like decipher, like if I'm going to offer it also for with audio, like an audio version of it. And if that's something you guys want, an audio version, let me know, put it in the comments, and I most certainly will make it happen. But it's going to be hardback initially. So let me know. What other things have I been working on? Just started another new business. It's global venture business. I'll talk more about it as I solidify things, but I just started it. And so now I have to get someone to help me with the website. Cups of Alkebulan is being revamped and worked on. I did get my old bags, as I told you guys, along like maybe last year when we were in Costa Rica. I told you guys that my bags had come, but I really did not like them, you guys. And the design did not work for what I wanted to do, since I will have several types of coffee, and the design needed to be revamped so that it could be applicable to the several types of coffee that we are going to be offering at Cups of Alkebulan. So I had to throw away all of those bags. I kept a few, but I had to throw them away. And now I am having someone revamp the design. Once I get the design revamped, I'm going to have to come back to the continent so that I can solidify the connections that I have there with the producers. So I'm really, really excited about that. So now I'm just waiting on the bags, the bag design, getting my bags back, and then we'll be ready to like rock and roll with that. Thought about finishing what I started and opening up my store, Alkebulan's Pantry. As you guys know, if you watch the content, I was like this close to like opening up my store. And then things shifted. But just thinking about a new African country to, have my store in. So I'm thinking I want to finish that. So that's in store as well. So I'm working on many, many things at the same time, per usual. We're just now seeing a house where we are. So finally we'll be able to we'll have some type of stability and not always on the go and like moving around. And we've been going over home to the States and just back and forth. So finally solidifying that. So I'm really excited about that. And then that way I can just continue to like move around. Am needing to be home in the States for some time because there are just things that I cannot do traveling. So I'm actually really excited. Like I said, I don't hate home. I don't. I honor that land. I know that is separate from the corporation, right? So But that land, that's the land, that's my home. That's the land of my ancestors. And, I have ancestry from both America and, Alkebulan. So, but that is my home. I will never forsake it ever. It's my home. So I've been away, and I can't wait to go and just have some, familiarity, be able to go to get some of the things that I'm like accustomed to. And it feels great, when I'm home. It really does. So things have come full circle. Like, I've watched my videos, like when I first started the journey and started this channel, and I just see so much growth. And I do see like 360, which is 9. Like, I see a complete circle, and I don't regret like anything, like all the things that like I experienced and went through. I'm so happy. It's taught me so much. It has taught me so much. It has matured me so much. It has educated me so much. It has benefited me. It has changed me in a great way. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, I had to go through that journey. And we went at like the perfect time. Pre pandemic, and we went there at the perfect time, and we went to the perfect place, and which is Tanzania. We went there, and we really enjoyed ourselves. And like I said, we were under Baba Magufuli. Everything was still going as planned. Like, we were in the right place. Like, never had to experience some of the things that others were experiencing in the lands that they were in. So we were protected and divinely guided. And I am so grateful for that. What I'm thinking about doing with this space and this channel is just totally like revamping it. I'll probably take off all of the old content and just start some new content like on this channel. So that's what I'm working on as well, and just kind of seeing like what do I want, what type of content do I want to present. Of course, you guys, let me know what you want to see. But that I'm a writer, and so I was thinking about just shifting to that, and just maybe doing some skits and some writing on here and kind of like acting it out. I may choose to do another channel for that. I'm just really playing around, with things, you all. But as far as like vlogging every single thing that I do, like, I'm just not going to be doing that. I'm just not. I'm just not. I don't want to do that. I am surprised that I've shared all that I have shared on this platform, because I'm an introvert and I'm very private. But the things that I've shared, they needed to be shared, and I'm so grateful that I shared them. And I'm so grateful that it has been beneficial, like, to so many people. And I want to tell you all before I go, those of you all that have been like procrastinating and putting things off, and saying, oh, I'll do it this day, or I'll travel at this time, or I can't do it right now, whatever it is. This this is a crucial time that we are in. This is a major shift that we are in. Major. And within the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to see some major changes in our reality, and it's already happening. So whatever it is that your heart desires, do it. Do it. Stop the negative thoughts and talk. I've told you all about that. I've told you. Mind your mind and your tongue. I've told you that. Okay? So if you're wanting to travel, go travel. If you're wanting to start your business, start your business. If you're wanting, to start new relationships and connections, if you're wanting to write, a book, or, if you're wanting to get into, a certain craft or industry, do it. Do it. The only person that's stopping you is yourself. That's it. This is the time to do it. You want to make history? Do it. Do what it takes right now, because we're in this major shift. Okay? That's what I can tell you. The suns have returned. It's heating up, and it's only going to continue to progress. The earth is cleansing herself. This is where we are. There isn't anything that anyone can do anything about it. You better be focusing on yourself, your ascension. This is what you need to be focusing on, yourself and ascension. You need to be like leaving the distractions behind. All this about Diddy did this and this person did that. I mean, do not allow yourself to be consumed with that junk, okay? Because it's a distraction to keep you from doing the real work that will give you the power, that you're needing and wanting and desiring. So continue to go within, know thyself, do some introspection, okay? And get your power back. Get your power back. There is no difference between you or me. I've been able to do the things that I'm doing, power of my mind, my heart, and my tongue. And if you mind those things and you align them, you're going to see manifestation, period. I'm speaking from experience. This is not talk. You've seen my life. I've told you guys. I've struggled in my life as a single mom. Now my son is almost an adult. When I was in it, like I never thought that I was going to be, I always knew that I was going to be successful. But when I was in it, like in the trenches, it was so hard. And sometimes I couldn't see like the light of day. Sometimes I couldn't, and when I was sleeping in my car, oh my gosh, in the dead of the winter, like sometimes I just couldn't see, but I kept getting back up. I kept fighting, and I kept telling myself like there is something so much better for me. Like I knew it in my heart of hearts, and I just continued to just press through and move forward. And here I am. I've been able to take my son throughout like many lands, and now he's embarking on his own life. He is about to be 9, and I made it through. Like I made it through. And if I can make it through, so can you. There is no difference. If you mind your mind, your heart, and your tongue, there is no difference. That's it. That's what I have for you guys, right? That's what I have for you guys. So let me see if anybody's saying anything in the comments. Okay. So I don't see anybody saying anything. So yeah, if there is nothing else, like if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to get my day going and started because I have a lot to do, but I love you all so much. I truly do. Those, my A1s from day one, like all the support, TNT with Mike and Jazz, special shout out to you all, my brother and my sister. I mean, just always showing the love. I appreciate you so much. Please send me your information. And congratulations on the house. So please send me your information, but I appreciate you all so much. Like I said, those that have always supported and that have come with like a genuine heart. All that I do is never just for me, it is for us all. So that's why I'm not speaking about every single thing that I'm working on. It's coming into fruition beautifully, and I will be able to help so many people. So I'm going to keep it under wraps and continue to do my work. But if there's something that you want, like if you guys have like some suggestions about like how I should revamp the channel, please leave it in the comments and like let me know. I know you're interested in seeing like some of the stuff like that I'm doing, and I will make some videos about like day to day, but to like do that like consistently, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like, I'm just not going to do that. Like, I'm not, I'm not. But I'll try to be more consistent in, updating on this platform, but I am revamping it. And like I said, I'll have to come up with, a final decision about like what I want to put on this platform, or if I should just go ahead and start a whole other platform, which I'm kind of leaning towards that. So I would love your input. I would love your input. You guys just let me know. But anyway, what's been going on? Like, has anything been going on? Those who are in the over in the continent, on the continent right now, Kebulon, like, update me real quick. Like, is there anything that I need to be knowing about that's going on over there? I know what's happening in the Congo. We all need to be meditating for our brothers and sisters in the Congo. We need to be meditating for their safety, their protection. We want to be meditating for their awakening. We want to be meditating to restore them, their restoration. That's what we want. And protection of not only them, but their land and the resources that their land produces. Okay. And so we want to be meditating for them. We love them. And this is what we need to be doing. And when we come together in that way, the universe has to respond. Remember, your words shall not return unto you void. It shall not. I have said that ye are gods. Okay. So when we meditate and we come together like that, it's extremely powerful. And we should always be doing that. Always. So let me see. Thanks for sharing, and we appreciate you as well. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Tony. A1 since day one. So supportive. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you. Your email is still the same. Yes, it is, BB. It's the same. Has anything been going on? Yes. BB, these people are too presumptuous about my money. Yeah. We have a lot of improving to do. I know what you're going through, BB. Everyone has seen my journey. I know what you're going through, but we have got to learn to deal with one another. We've got to do better. We have got to do better. And it's going to take us rewiring our minds. You have to throw off the dross, which is the programming. We have been programmed since we came into this reality, since we left the mother's womb. We have been programmed, and you have to leave that behind. You have to throw it off. And then you have to be as a child and relearn the truth, reconnect with the truth. Look at your brother and sister with a new pair of eyes. They need to see us not as dollar signs at all. We all have something to offer. They have, land. They own land. And there's a lot of things that we can collab on with them owning that land, or with us owning land over there. We could do some powerful shit if we can just throw off the dross. If we can just throw it off and rewire our minds, we could feed each other. We could take care of one another. There is something that you have and that you know how to do that the next brother and sister doesn't, and vice versa. And we can exchange those intellectual properties and really become self-sustained again, globally. Not just in an isolated area. This is what we have the power to do. But we have to throw off the dross and get rid of the programming. Okay? Everybody has something to offer. and we can pool our resources together. I mean, it sounds so like maybe a bit simple and cliche, but what I am saying is freaking the answer. Like, that's the thing. Like, sometimes we're looking for like these powerful things, these profound things, when oftentimes the answer is in simplicity. Oftentimes the answer is in simplicity. So what I just told you was powerful. Now we just need to put it into action. That's what we need to do. We really don't need anybody else, you all. We have all that we need. We have all that we need. We are a loving people. But it's time for us to really love ourselves and each other. It's time for us to do that. I see us do it with everyone else. And we really need to be doing that with each other. We need to throw away like these preconceived notions, these stereotypes. That it's all programming, and we're playing into it, and we continue to perpetuate it only to our demise. Why we keep doing that is like beyond me. It's like proof that we are sick people and we need healing. And we can do that. We can heal ourselves and we can heal each other. We're very intelligent and very capable. Just think of what the world would be like without our contribution. Think of it. Would this even be civilization? No, it wouldn't. So we have all the capabilities. We have it. We just need to step outside of the programming. We really, truly do. This death culture, this is what I'm going to leave you all with. This is what you don't know. The archons, those who are disconnected from the cosmic egg, all right? They do not have the ability to manifest because of that. They can't manifest on their own. So guess who they use? You. They need you. So what they do is they create something that's called Wetiko. And it's they are parasitic thought forms. And the moment that they get you to buy into these parasitic thought forms, you have just became their host of manifesting their desires. And that is what you have been doing. You have been a host to these parasitic thought forms. And you have taken them into yourself as truth and belief, and you have manifested their desires. Think about that. And the moment that you take it in as truth and you believe it, an energy structure is created that's interspersed with a particular vibrational pattern that fits that parasitic thought form and emits a poisonous frequency within this atmosphere. That is what happens. That's how racism started. That's hatred. That's fear. That's insecurity. That's jealousy. That's envy. That's greed. That's lust. It's all of those lower vibrational things. And they use you to manifest it and continue to perpetuate it. And you do it gladly. You do it gladly. And all because you don't want to do your work. All because you don't want to do your work. I have seen, even within my own family and other families, they totally have been ripped apart by this pandemic. Ripped apart. Family members not wanting to see other family members, and you thinking that they're infected, and this and that, and then this person, got this and injected, and that like, it has torn families apart. And it makes me like think, were you a family in the first place if something like this could come within a matter of months and totally rip your family apart? Were you even a family in the first place? And I give kudos to the families that did not allow that to happen, that they allowed love to prevail, and they held steadfast in the love, because so many have been ripped apart and to the point of no return. Now, of course, that was also meant to be, right? If you really understand who some of your family members really are. And I would encourage you all to know your birth chart. It is very important. Know the birth chart of your family members. Know the birth chart of your partner, your wife, your husband, your lady, your man, your children. You need to know. That will help you to understand who they are and what role they are meant to play in your life to get you to where you need to get to, and to get the lessons that you need to get. So you need to know who you're dealing with. I understand that in this life, I am my son's mother, but in another life, he could have been my father. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I'm his mother in this reality. Therefore, I do not own my child. I do not own my son. I am a vessel that he came through, and I am his guardian in this reality. I don't own him. He owns and controls his own light. And if many parents would understand that, it would be greatly beneficial to the dynamics between child, mother, father. It would be greatly beneficial to our family structure. You do not own your children. And I don't know where that came from. Just because they manifested through your body, that's what that was. You're a vessel. The feminine energy is spirit. So she has to carry the light from the spirit world into the physical, because she's the one that has the portal to do so. But just because she's able to do that does not mean that she owns the light that is manifested from her body, from within and without. Vice versa. Just because dad implanted the seed doesn't mean that he owns the light. You don't. And you need to understand that. Stop trying to control your children and listen to them. They're highly intelligent beings. They have their own path here and their own journey, and you need to respect that. And you need to be seeing how you can help them in that journey. You're their guardian. You don't own them. Know that. That's what I have. I love you all. Peace, love, and light.